Next fall, the University of Wisconsin-Madison will cover the full cost of an undergraduate degree for Wisconsin residents who are enrolled members of federally recognized Wisconsin Indian tribes. The commitment covers not only tuition and fees, but also housing, meals, books, and other educational expenses. Plus, a 5-year pilot program will cover in-state tuition and fees for students pursuing a law or medical degree who are also members of Wisconsin tribes. Now, these two new initiatives are called the Wisconsin Tribal Education Promise Program. Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin says the program is another step in the direction of a future of mutual respect and cooperation with American Indian tribes in Wisconsin.